Aloha. Good evening. This is Andrew Aloha Live out of Flagstaff, Arizona, for Spiritual Image Productions on Facebook Live and YouTube. Establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values. Aloha and welcome to tonight's updates. And I gotta apologize because yesterday I actually did this update, but I left an audio on my phone, so you could hear the audio in the background, foreground, middle ground, something ground. You can't hardly hear what I'm saying, so I made sure just now that audio was off, so you can hear me a lot better. So I'm assuming you can hear me a lot better. And let me see. Where did I put that at? Oh, well, you know, as you noticed, I've got the mask on for and there's a lot of aloha Rebecca, thanks for stopping by. I have the mask on for all of y'all that are concerned about the coronavirus. You know, just the other day, actually just yesterday, Alec Baldwin was taken off. I don't know, he was flying somewhere, and his wife goes, "Yeah, I'm going to make him wear the mask because you know, with the coronavirus going on." And I did. I said, "Hey, you know, better to be safe than sorry." So if there's any doubt at all, any at all, that you'll encounter that virus somewhere, put a mask on. I don't think it's going to hurt anybody's feelings if you put a mask on. I wear this mask all the time because I got chronic sinusitis, but lately I'm realizing that, and I'm even wearing it outside. When I go do errands and stuff, I go and I put this on. People look at me and I'm going, well, I don't care, because you know, if something's going on and I'm not being affected and I'm not getting any viruses or colds or flus or whatever, then so be it. At least I'm not having to go to the hospital because I'm sick, right? So again, be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on about this coronavirus, but and I've actually been wearing these masks for like several months now. Literally, I wear them all the time, mostly around my place where I live at. But lately, I've been wearing them even when I go on errands, and I think it's been instrumental in helping me prevent getting any kind of cold or flu. Last year I was twice in the hospital for the flu and almost pneumonia, but luckily we caught it on time. And so this year, it's only February, knock on wood, but I haven't got sick so far. So and last year in February, I believe in February, March, I was sick, and then again I was sick in August. Was it August? October? I can't remember, but later during the month, during the year, I was sick as well. So and I've only been wearing these masks since last October, November. I can't remember, but I've been literally wearing them regularly because I'm not interested in getting sick anymore. I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks back in February 2017. 3 years ago today, literally 3 years ago today, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I was in ICU for a week, almost died. And luckily, there was some really good professional caretakers here, nurses and doctors at Flagstaff Medical Center, and they were really, really instrumental in bringing me back to health and getting me back up on my feet. So I appreciate that, and I thank them for that. But the point is that I was sick with pneumonia and the flu, and that was just obnoxious. I don't ever want to do that again. Wow! I woke up, you know. I called the ambulance and I said, "Hey, I think you better come and get me because I think I'm getting sick." I'm pretty sick. Aloha, whoever you are. Thanks for stopping by. But anyhow, I came by. Mail. Thanks for stopping by, Mail. So anyhow, I came by. I called the emergency up, and I said, hey, I think you better come and get me. So they did. They came and got me. I was already ready for them, and they go, well, can you walk to the ambulance? I said, yeah. Let me lock up my door. And so I locked up my door. I walked downstairs, and then jumped on the gurney. And literally, as soon as I jumped on the gurney, I was out like a light. For 2 or 3 days, I was out, right? And I woke up, and I was in a daze, and I didn't know where in the hell I was at. And you know, they kept asking me, well, do you know where you're at? Do you know what day it is? Blah blah blah. All these questions to see how alert I was, and I was out of it. I was literally out of it. And so anyhow, I was on ICU for a few more days, and then they put me in the general population, and then I was released, and it still took me. I think I still was on oxygen for about 3 months after that, and it still took me another 1.5 years or so to recover from all that. Do I ever want to do that again? Not. I don't think so. And I don't know how bad this coronavirus is, but if it's anything like that episode I went through back in 3 years ago today, I'm not gonna do that again. So forget it. So anyhow, if you think there's any kind of doubt, and also you know, they have the chemtrail stuff going on, and I don't know if you don't know anything about the chemtrails, Google it and figure it out. But you know, who knows? Maybe they're putting that virus in those chemtrails now, and people are getting sick from the chemtrails. I don't know. Maybe the virus are lodged in those chemtrails, and now people are actually getting sick by the droves. I don't know. Maybe it's a major genocide all over the world, trying to get rid of all these people. You know, and I hate to get into conspiracy theories, but people, you got to think for yourself. And if you feel you're in your heart space and something feels wrong or incorrect, then go with it and do whatever you need to resolve that right away, whatever that is. So again, feel for yourself, not just think for yourself, right? So it's like that. So anyhow, and especially you people that are around Chinese people, or people that are from China, I should say, coming from China recently or whatever, just take an extra precautionary step to do you, right? Because if you don't take care of you, who else will? And luckily, I had the Flagstaff Medical Center staff and personnel taking care of me that 3 years ago. But you know, and I'm probably forever in debt to them people. But you know, I didn't have to go through that. And if I knew what I know now back then, I probably wouldn't even have to go to the hospital. So anyhow, just keep up to date with this virus. Eventually, years from now, every disease known to mankind will be curable, and will be able to be resolved and cured right on the spot. But until that happens, just take whatever measures you need to take care of you. Now again, I'm redoing this update because yesterday I had an audio on the background, and you couldn't even hardly hear me. So I want to apologize about that. But so I'm doing this a second time around. So with that in mind, I want to again thank the or congratulate the Kansas City Chiefs on their win. They're becoming Super Bowl heroes, right? So, but I want to say, and I should have looked it up. I forgot to again, but the quarterback from San Francisco, I can't remember what that guy's name is, but he actually won. He threw away the game. I mean, literally, and pun intended. He threw away that game. I just couldn't believe it. Any experienced quarterback Super Bowl winner knows that when you have 6 minutes left and you're up by 10 points, you run the ball to the other side of the road. What an idiot! So anyhow, That's all he had to do is run the ball. But literally, what's he do? He passes. Yeah, are you a rookie? Oh, okay, fine. You don't even know what it's like to win a Super Bowl because I mean that would have been any Super Bowl experienced quarterback would have known to do that. And all he had to do is run the ball. 6 minutes left, and what happens inside 6 minutes? Kansas City comes back and wins the game by tabbing 21 more points to their total. Oh my God, I just couldn't believe it. I was pretty pissed for that. That was like the stupidest move I could ever even know. But anyhow, on the other hand, maybe he had a bet for several who knows, $1 million, several $1,000s that Kansas City was going to cheat. So maybe he bet against his own team, and so maybe he lost the game on purpose just so he can win some money. That's such bullshit. Selfish bullshit. But anyhow, and so with that in mind, again, congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs. But I think his name is Mahomey, the quarterback. I hate to say it, I don't think you won that game. I think the quarterback from San Francisco won it for you. But that's besides the point. And yeah, you got your team to there, but I think Frisco could have won it if that quarterback would have been so stupid or such an idiot. But anyhow, Kobe Bryant. I want to congratulate him and his daughter. They actually came to me right after that crash, and every year I have for several years now. I've had people, celebrities, after they pass away, they die, whatever. They come to me, and they ask to join the transmission meditation group that I do. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Arizona time, I do a meditation for 2 hours, and anybody in the world can join it, and they don't even have to ask, these celebrities, but they do. They're respectful and kind enough to ask to join the group, and then a few years ago I started putting together a list. So I have a whole list of people that come and join the group whenever, and they meditate with the group. And so my guess is that they didn't have time to do this meditation, or they didn't know about this meditation prior to, and now that they're on the other side, they have time, and they can do the service. And anybody can, and there are masters and saints and all kinds of beings that join this group from all over the universe. Literally, I mean, and we're talking about literally Jesus and Maitreya Buddha and Sai Baba and all kinds of a spirit of peace and equilibrium, the spirit of the age of Aquarius, Brahma Baba, Sai Baba. All these beings and more join this group, and so it's not like a meditation that's beyond anybody and they can't do it, or it's such a low level of activity that they can't do it because they're too good for it. I mean, literally, beings from all walks of life join this meditation group, and so do the meditation, and so. If you want information about this meditation, you can go to my website, spiritualimageproductions.com. Spiritualimageproductions.com. On the left-hand side, there's a link that says Transmission Meditation on the Air. Transmission Meditation on the Air. Click on that. There's a book there. There's an introduction. I highly recommend you at least watch the introductory video that I did. So to do this specific group. There are groups all over the world. I probably hundreds, but there's groups all over the world, and with this particular group, it's very wise. Or I highly recommend that you watch that introductory video so you can tag along. And in fact, tomorrow, Sunday, every month I do a full moon meditation as well, for the most part. And so tomorrow we'll be doing the February full moon meditation, which will be from 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow night, Arizona time. So now Arizona time fluctuates every year when they do the time change thing. It doesn't move. Arizona time, that's the unique thing about it. It doesn't change at all, no matter if there's a time change or not. It doesn't change at all. So sometimes we'll be at the same time as California or Pacific time, and other times we'll be the same time. I believe we're now at the same time as Mountain Time, if I'm correct. But anyhow, so you can check it out for yourself. Aloha Alma, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Let me see, where else was we're again tomorrow we'll do a full moon meditation, and then we're gonna usually a lot of times when you do the meditation with groups, they'll have tea afterwards or some kind of potluck afterwards. Oh, and that's the other word. That's what I was gonna say, is that come April, May, and June will be the most powerful full moon meditations of the year. With May, typically May, which is the Wesak festival meditation, will be the most powerful meditation of the year that you can do. And if you do this meditation regularly, you'll notice that the energies will be getting more power. What happens a lot of times, it's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny. A lot of times, as Wesak festival approaches, my stomach will start acting up, and it'll be to the point that I can't eat meat or anything that's abrasive to my stomach, because it just won't be able to digest it or take it. So I end up having to eat just mostly vegetables and just more of a liquid diet type of thing, because the energies become so high that my stomach will react to that or reflect to that, and so it'll be to the point that my stomach can't digest except very light energy type of foods and stuff. So it'll be like that. And it's funny because my sister, who doesn't even do the meditation, and other people around me, their stomachs will start acting up too, and they don't know why. And I could tell them why, but it would go in one ear and out the other, and I'd have to explain again and again and again and again. So whatever. But anyhow, let me see. So April, and you can check my website, spiritualimage.productions.com, and the events page, and also the transmission meditation on the air page. I'll be doing updates for that, and you'll know when to plug in for those, and those full moon meditations. And then I do a weekly group meditation on Wednesdays, and then I do a full moon meditation, and that's once a month. So and again, the transmission meditation is a service of, it's a service, literally a service of karma yoga and laya yoga. The energies are actually manipulated, if you want to call it that, or worked with by a saint, usually at least one saint, but this group, it may be more than one saint, I don't know, but the energies are sent out into the world to help heal the world, and maybe like with this coronavirus, and it's already happening, that there, I believe, what was it, people from Thailand have already come up with some kind of cure for it. So maybe something like that will happen, and as a result of people doing transmission meditation, and then that cure is sent out into the world to help heal all those people from the coronavirus and so forth. So it works like that. Or maybe like there's a train accident, and instead of 5 people getting killed, only one person will get injured, as a result of the transmission meditation energies coming through. And so it works like that. So, and I don't direct, and I don't know where all the energies go to exactly, but that's how they work. And so again, when you're doing this meditation, you're doing not just to help to heal the world, but I think automatically, I'm pretty sure automatically you get some kind of healing out of it as well. I'm pretty sure. So anyhow, again, Kobe Bryant and his daughter came, and what's been happening over the last few years, celebrities started coming to me and asking to join the meditation group. Starting out with Paul Walker and Philip Seymour, and also Joan River. Those were some of the first people that came through, and they asked to join the group, and I said, okay, sure. And again, they don't have to ask, they can just join at will, but they're kind enough and respectful enough to ask. And so, but it also lets me know who they are, and when they do that. And then I started putting together a list again, and that list is pretty lengthy now, of all these people, and a lot of them are my family members, and a lot of them are saints, spirit of the age of Aquarius, spirit of the peace and equilibrium, spirit of cosmic grace, Sai Baba. I mean, the list goes on, but that's besides the point. And maybe someday I'll publish it and put it out there so you can know who's actually tapping into that. Trump, oh my God, this guy, he's and I just read a blurb about him having tan lines, like he's been out, I don't know, vacationing somewhere. But this guy, again, we talked about this earlier in the last update, not from yesterday, but before that, that the senators already had determined that he was going to be acquitted at the get-go before even the start of the trial, impeachment trial. So he was impeached by the House of Representatives, I believe, but he was acquitted by the senators, which had already been determined. And so, you know, is that fraud? Is that perjury? Is that a line of shit? I don't know. I'd have to see more behind the scenes stuff. Well, they didn't allow witnesses for the trial, so to me that was admission of guilt, just by that action. And so, you know, it's already been determined. It's already predicted that Trump is going to become the next president of the United States for the next term. And I still believe that even if that happens, which that's what's predicted, he's not. I don't believe he's going to make it all the way through. I absolutely don't believe that he's going to make it through the 4 years. Either he's going to be impeached prior to, he's going to quit. Something's got, you know, or he's going to have a heart attack. I don't know what, but something's going to happen, and I don't believe that he's going to make it through that 4 years, even if he becomes re-elected again. So we'll see what happens. He did the State of the Union address a few days ago, and I can't remember who pointed it out, but I thought it was a really good, important point. Let me see if I can fix it. Anyhow, I thought it was a really good idea. A good point is that there's a group called World War Zero, and there's a whole list of people that are in this group, including myself, and who are committed to dealing with climate change. The Trump didn't even mention climate change or anything about environment, I believe is what was said. I didn't watch the State of the Union address myself, but he did not even mention environment, anything, as far as I understand and know. And you know, it's pretty stupid that he's going that route, because he's got grandkids. I already know he's got grandkids, and he's got kids. And so what's he going to be so fucking stupid that he's going to leave the planet in complete chaos when he leaves, so that his grandkids can put up with it, all that crap, and his kids and his great grandkids and so on and so on? What is he really stupid? Is he working for the United States, or is he working for the KKK? Trump, or you tell me that. I mean, if you're going to be working for the KKK, you need to step down and go work for the KKK. I don't really give a crap if you do, but either work for the United States or work for the KKK. But you can't do both. And I'm telling you, I'm not asking or politely saying. I'm not even being polite about this. You can't work for the United States and work for the KKK at the same time. It's not going to happen. It's not happening. You're an idiot if you do. Period. So You either need to get off the seat and go work for KKK, or get with the program, be professional, and work for the United States. Period. You're working for us, for the citizens of the United States. Period. And there's no way around it. Either you need to be professional and tighten up your britches and get with the program and deal with us in a professional, wise way, or get out of there, man. You don't need to be there. We need somebody there that wants to be there, and that's the other part of the program. If you don't want to be there, then don't be there. Get the fuck out, like yesterday, literally. Now, if you do want to be there, then then do what you're supposed to be doing. Period. Because we're not interested in any of your bullshit or anybody else's bullshit either. Period. A good leader takes care of the weakest people. Makes sure that the weakest people are safe and secure, and not just them, but everybody else too. But that's how you need to deal with this program. You're the smallest people in the United States, the weakest people. You need to make sure that they're safe and secure. Are you doing that? No, you're not. I'm telling you. I'm not even politely saying it. I'm telling you, you're not. So get with the program yesterday. So anyhow, in World War Zero is a group that's committed to working with climate change and making sure that our environment, or working towards making sure that our environment is healthy and safe, not just for the planet, but for everybody else concerned, right? So it's like that. Again, full moon meditation tomorrow, and now for Valentine's Day, and I have a list of movies that you can watch with your partner, your lover, whoever, or by yourself if you want. You can be your own lover. You don't have to have a partner, a physical partner. There's all kinds of saints out there, and you're never alone. So you can always be in love with yourself, or love yourself, or be loved. You don't have to have someone physically there. Eventually, sooner or later, there will be what you call a consort, and that consort will be your reflection, your partner that you'll be you're destined to be with for ever and ever, like permanently, for indefinitely. There's a partner out there, I'm pretty sure, for most or all people, that's meant to be your partner for forever and ever. Amen. It's like that. And maybe they're in this life, they're in this lifetime, they're on this planet right now, and maybe they're not. You might have to wait till next lifetime or whatever. Eventually, sooner or later, you'll hook up with your consort, and you'll do stuff together. There are examples. I hadn't thought about this, but there are examples of partners even now that have come together, and they do projects together. They'll do photography projects, they'll do education projects, business projects, all kinds of projects together, and that's what it'll be like. That's how you'll know that either you're close to your consort, being with your consort, or someone that's being a consort, or your consort, and you'll do stuff together, and you'll be together all the time. Literally, you'll be aloha Camellia. Thanks for stopping by. You'll be with a lover that you'll never be apart from that person. You'll be together all the time. Literally, you'll be together all the time, and it's much more than just a soulmate, and it's more in lines with being a twin flame type of thing. But a consort, I think, is maybe even more involved than even a twin flame. So again, you'll be together forever and ever, amen. And it'll be like I don't know, it'll just be amazing. It'll be an amazing relationship, and unfortunately, I think maybe that's probably not the best word, but that's the word I'm using. Unfortunately, there's only a handful of people that actually come together with someone like that on this planet, even now. And eventually, probably more and more people will come together with the concerts where there's twin flames, where there's soulmates. But for now, it's just finding someone that you can get along with and be able to practice that type of lifestyle, that type of relationship, is probably the best thing. And if you happen to come up upon a soulmate or a twin flame or a consort, then so be it. But if you can't find hook up or be with a consort or your twin flame or your soulmate or a soulmate, then just find somebody that you can get along with. And if you can't find someone to get along with, then work on yourself. Right? Figure out what makes you what you like, what you don't like. A lot of people don't even take that time to do that. How can somebody be your lover if you can't be your own lover, a lover to yourself? And that's really crucial in the relationship department. You really have to be able to get along with yourself. If you don't like yourself, why do you expect anybody else to like you? How stupid is that, right? And that is stupid. I'm not even being nice about it. I'm being very direct, very transparent about this. If you can't even enjoy being who you are in your skin, in your bodies, in all your bodies, and enjoy connecting with your soul, how do you expect anybody else to enjoy that with you? Duh. But anyhow, so it's like that. And if you can't find somebody to hang out with and enjoy being with, then at least work on yourself. Do meditation, do prayers, do service, listen to inspirational spiritual works, read inspirational spiritual works, and that's the basic criteria to enlightenment, to getting you in the direction of being enlightened. Those practices right there, those 5 practices. So it's simple, but people just don't have enough patience to do it, right? It's simple, but it's not simple. Okay, fine, it's like that. So for Valentine's Day, I put together a list of movies that you can watch that will help get you in that direction. At least looking at lovers and partners and traits and habits and that they have, that you may have, considerations. The Ugly Truth. Let me see. The Ugly Truth came out 2009 with Catherine Hagel, Jared Butler. Oh, time out. I gotta change glasses because I can't really see. Oh my God. It's funny because I have to wear glasses and to read from my computer, and then I have to wear glasses to read from my phone. So it's like annoying, but it is what it is. So anyhow, The Ugly Truth with Catherine Hagel, Jared Butler, Bree Turner, Eric Winter, Nick Searcy, Cheryl Hines, John Michael Higgins, Bonnie Somerville. This guy, he does he's doing his own show called The Ugly Truth, and then there's this newscasting station, like today, tomorrow, or someone, or Good Morning, whatever. So anyhow, they bring him on to do a segment, and because their ratings are really low, and so they have to kick up those ratings, and so they bring him in, and he really gets down and dirty and gets to the bottom of all this crap going on, right? Including with the couple that does the morning show or whatever. They're an item together, right? And so he even gets into their teeth and straightens them out. So anyhow, the Catherine Hagel is the station manager, and so he he really he gets involved with her, and he helps him get involved with a doctor, and that she's got the hots for, right? And he tells her, do this, this, and this, and you'll get your man. And she goes, no, I don't want to do it. So he goes, okay, fine. So then she goes, okay, fine, I'll do it. So she does. She lands her man, and then at the end, she figures out that she's got the hots for Jared Butler himself instead. So that's how the story ends. Let me see another movie you can watch for Valentine's Day with your partner, with your lover, or on your own. Hitch. Oh my God. Let me see. When did it come out? 2005. And these are all movies that are 2 thumbs up. I recently watched these movies either on Redbox or Netflix or I don't know where else, or I have it, or I have the movie. So anyhow, Hitch came out 2005. Will Smith, Eva Mendes, Kevin James, Amber Valletta, and then Julie Ann Emery. Will is like he's like a myth, that people think he's a myth, that he's this guy that hooks up guys with women and or helps them get back together with their girlfriend or wife or whatever. So he ends up meeting Eva Mendes, right? His ultimate calling. So something about her that causes him to screw up. Something always happens when he's around her, right? So anyhow, he coaches all these guys to getting all these dates and all this other stuff, all this love affair stuff going on, and then he's having a hard time with Eva Mendes because they somehow they're the way they click is way off beat. So anyhow, they end up getting together at the end. It's a really funny movie. Just all kinds of tips on how to be on a date and how not to be on a date type of thing, right? It's like that. So, Kate and Leopold came out 2001. That's actually an older movie, but it was still a really interesting movie. It had to do with time travel with Meg Ryan, Hugh Jackman, Liev Schreiber, Reckon Meyer, Natasha Lyonne, Bradley Whitford. So this guy Hugh Jackman is like from the 18th century, 1876 or something like that, and he ends up going through a portal with what's Liev Schreiber? Yeah, Liev Schreiber. He ends up jumping through a portal and coming into the present day, right? So he's like he's dressed in these old 18th century clothes, and he's a duke, right? Duke of something in the East, in England or something like that. And so he goes through all this stuff about learning about where we're at now, and he was actually, this guy was a duke that invented the elevator or something like that. Otis was I think that was either his last name or that was his part of his lineage, and he was instrumental in inventing the elevator. So anyhow, they go through all this stuff, and Meg Ryan is like, who is this guy? What is he, a joke? Blah 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 blah. And then her brother, what's her brother? Bradley Whitford. I can't remember her brother's name, but anyhow, they're like, who is this guy? Her brother's an actor. He thinks he's just doing method acting type of thing, right? It's like that. Man, he's going, oh yeah, this guy's really good, man. His method acting is amazing. Like it doesn't end. It just keeps going. Well, duh. But anyhow, so Meg Ryan ends up, of course, falling in love with this guy, and they end up. Liev Schreiber takes some pictures from the 18th century, and he has them developed, and in the picture there she is, Meg Ryan, in the 18th century. So they figured out she goes back to the portal herself, and Liev Schreiber sends Hugh Jackman back through the portal to go back to his home, and in the picture there she is. So they sent her back too, and so they live happily ever after type of thing. I don't know, but it was a interesting, funny, very romantic movie, if you want to call it. Crazy Rich Asians. This is about, if you haven't watched it, it came out, when was it? I had it here. Really, I did. Oh, 2019. Yeah, just last year. So this movie involves a couple from Henry Golding, Constance Wu, Awkwafina, Michelle Yeoh, and Gemma Chan. And so Henry Golding and Constance Wu are an item, either a couple, right? But he's from old school. He's from China, and then she's from the American Chinese people, right? She's born in America, but she's still Chinese, right? So they're an item, and so that he goes, well, let's go to my best friend's wedding, and she goes, okay, and he turns out this guy is like really wealthy. They go back home, and they go first class, and she's going, oh no, we can't afford this. This is first class. What are you talking about? Oh no, we're fine. Don't worry about it. And so anyhow, kind of find out he's probably the wealthiest family in all of China, and she all of a sudden she has to compete with the mom, and the mom doesn't like her, right? So she has to go through all these hoops and trials and errors and stuff. So she finally gets the approval of the mom to marry or be involved with her son, Henry Golding. So anyhow, interesting movie on cultural differences, cultural conflict, cultural competition. It was just it's kind of intense, but it was funny too. So anyhow, the other two thumbs up movies, and actually this one is a series, Messiah, on Netflix. Netflix is finally, I don't know if it's just a phase, but they're coming up with some stuff that's really interesting to watch. I haven't watched Netflix in a while, and then recently, in the last few weeks, I've been watching Netflix again, and I found some very interesting movies. This is a TV series about this guy who people call Messiah, and he literally leads a group from Israel, from one side of Israel to the other side of Israel, and they're all hungry and they're starving, and he leads them, and they get him some food and all this stuff. In the meantime, come to find out he's a student, he's a university student in America, so he's also a magician, and so he knows all these tricks of the trade to do all these magic tricks, and so he uses these magic tricks as part of his following, well, not his following, but his message as part of his journey with all these people, and then into the United States and all this stuff. And so at the very end, at the very last, even the very last episode, you're left hanging. Is this guy really a saint, or is he full of shit, right? So, and as of course the CIA, and this just came out on Netflix, I think, this year, with Michelle Monaghan, Mehdi, Debbie, John Ortiz, Bo Bridges, Tom Sisley, Melinda Page Hamilton, Stephanie Levy Owen, a handful of other people. But anyhow, of course, and Michelle Monaghan is a CIA operative, right? She's following him and trying to figure out. I don't know if she's actually trying to prove him wrong or right. She I think even at the last episode, she still doesn't know what to believe. And couple of the other guys, they think the CIA operatives or operatives from Israel, whatever, think he's full of shit. So it's like that. So they leave you hanging. Is he a messiah? Is he a cult leader? What's going on? So anyhow, that was first season. I don't know what the second season is going to look like, but I'm sure it'll come out in the next several months, maybe next year. I don't know when, but we'll see what happens. So anyhow, again, these are all 2 thumbs up movies that I'm describing so far. Miss Americana is more of a documentary about Taylor Swift and all her episodes. All the stuff she goes through having to do with romance, having to do with politics, having to do with songs, all kinds of stuff. But it gets really down to the in the meat of things. I mean, it really gets into her lifestyle, and just kind of lays all the laundry out there so everybody can see, and she just puts it out there. She just puts it out there. So very interesting stuff going on with that person, that woman. Let me see. What's next? Wait. Judy. Oh, Judy with about another documentary made into a movie about Judy Garland with Renee Zellweger, Jesse Buckley, Finn Wittrock, Rufus Well, Michael Gambon, and Darcy Shaw. What was the Tony Awards? I think Renee Zellweger won Actress of the Year award for that movie, and I don't know about the Academy Awards and all this other because I haven't watched this, but she did a hell of a job in that movie. Wow, I was pretty much impressed in a sense of speaking, and she did an amazing job in that movie. Portraying Judy Garland. But then again, I've never really seen Judy Garland, her personal lifestyle in action. I've seen some movies, of course, Wizard of Oz and all this other stuff, and some of this other stuff. But that was pretty. But that was also a good movie to see some of the stuff behind the scenes stuff that Judy Garland was going through. I didn't realize all this stuff about her. And so it was interesting just to see, to know all that stuff, or to learn all that stuff. Instant Family, I talked about already. I've already mentioned that movie. I actually own it, and again, I have internet problems here at where I live at. So sometimes when that happens, I'll just grab one of my movies. So Instant Family, Mark Wahlberg, Rose Byrne, Isabella Moner, I think Merced is her new last name now, Gustavo Queiroz, Juliana Gomez, Octavia Spencer, Tig Notera, Margot Martindale, and then Joan Cusack. Came out 2018. And again, this is about foster families, people, a couple, Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne, adopt some kids. And they want to adopt one kid, but they learn that you have to adopt the other kids too, because they're a group, right? They're a set, 3 kids, 3 brothers and sisters. Actually, 2 sisters and 1 brother, and they're all a set, so they have to adopt all of them or none of them. So anyhow, if you want to learn about adoption, and I think this really does depict an actual environment, a reasonably authentic actual environment of what it takes to adopt a family. So if you're interested and you're thinking about that type of scenario, this might be a good movie for you to watch to help you decide, well, do I really want to do this, or no, maybe I need to pass on this because maybe this is too much, this is not for me. So and there's actually a website, I think it's instantfamily.org, where it'll give you more information about adoptions and stuff like that. I haven't checked it out yet. I meant to do that, but I just haven't got around to it. Bumblebee, again, I've already talked about this movie. It's another Transformer movie with, I think that came out last year, didn't it? Didn't it? Bumblebee. Where are you? Oh, Haley Steinfeld, John Cena, John Ortiz, Dylan O'Brien, Peter Cullen, Jorge Lindenberg Jr., Came out to 2018. Again, this is another Transformer movie, and this is about Bumblebee. He's like one of the youngest Transformers that there exists, and he's sent to Earth to help protect the Earth, but also to help with the Transformers, because their planet is destroyed by all these other idiots. And so anyhow, they come to Earth. These rebels, they come to Earth, and so Bumblebee gets into a fight with him, and all this stuff happens. And Haley Steinfeld, inherits the Bumblebee, because it's her birthday, and her uncle gives her a car, which is a bug, a yellow bug, right? So it turns out that yellow bug is Bumblebee. So anyhow, they go through all this discovery, all this traveling, and then all of a sudden the fight is on. And so, of course, Bumblebee kicks her ass, but that's besides the point. So anyhow, it's like that. The Angriest Man in Brooklyn. Oh my God, that was a funny movie. What's his name? Robin Williams, Mila Kunis, Peter Dinklage, Melisse, Leo, Hamish Linklater, James Earl Jones. That was interesting. Richard, what's wrong with this thing? Oh, no wonder. Time out. James Earl Jones, Richard Kind. This movie came out in 2014. Robin Williams ends up going to the doctor, and Mila Kunis takes over for the practice, because the doctor, the original doctor, takes off on vacation. So she has to tell Robin Williams that he's got prostate cancer or something like that. So he's like, well, how much time do I have to live? Well, she goes, oh, I don't know. Well, you got to tell me right now. Well, they get all into this big old debate about, well, how much time he's got to live. So finally she sees this magazine, and it says something like 60 hours or something. Blah, blah. So she turns on and she goes, 60 hours. So she gives him 60 hours to live, right? So he goes, oh, I'm out of here. So he takes off and goes and immediately starts doing all this stuff that he's been wanting to do. He goes home to his wife. We got to have sex. Like, we got to have sex right now. Blah, blah, blah. And I've got to go do this. And then he's got to go make up with his kids. One kid is a dancer. And so he ends up opening up a dance studio or something. I can't remember. But anyhow, he needs to get on the same page with them and make up with them before he dies. Blah, blah, blah. And so then he goes and jumps from the Brooklyn Bridge, right? So he wants to kill himself. So he goes, jumps, and of course Mila Kunis happens to be there, and she saves his ass, right? Pulls him out of the river, and they go through all this mirage of stuff, and of course, Robin Williams has got to be a funny movie, but that's his other one. So anyhow, very interesting, funny movie. If you want to laugh. If you want to laugh at death, I think that's probably a good movie to watch. But that's besides the point. Let me see. Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3. I didn't watch all of 3 because I didn't get around to it, because I had all of a sudden something came up. But I've already talked about these movies, Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3, about all these acapella groups that come together and they do these competitions, and of course the Barton Bellas, they kick everybody's ass in all of them, and in fact Pitch Perfect 3, they go on a USO tour, and they go through all this stuff, and Anna Kendrick ends up being picked for being the sidekick to hang on a second, I'll tell you in a second. Time out. What is his name? I want to say Jahid, but it's not Jahid. Anyhow, let me see. Anna Kendrick, Brittany Snow, Anna Kemp, Rebel Wilson, Haley Seinfeld, Alice Knapp, Esther Dean, Hannah Mae Lee, Kelly Alice Jacko, Shelley Regner, Skylar Aston, Ben Platt, Adam Devine, Elizabeth Banks, John Michael Higgins, John Benjamin Hickey, are all three of them. Most of them are all three of them, and then Along for the Ride and Pitch Perfect 2 are what's her name? I just seen her name just now. Katie Sagal. Who else is in there? Jumps in there. Bridget. Jort Sorensen from the German acapella group. Flula Borg from the German acapella group, and then Snoop Dogg is in the movie as well. He Anna Kendrick and the second Pitch Perfect goes to a studio and decides she wants to become a producer, a music producer. So she works for this music studio, and Snoop Dogg is the cousin or uncle of the guy that runs the studio. So they end up doing a stint with them as well. So anyhow, lots of awesome music, very entertaining, and there's still competition in there, of course. You'd think that women wouldn't love competition as much as they do, but they do. But that's besides the point. So women are very competitive, but that's besides the point. Burlesque. I just watched that a few days ago with Cher, Christina Aguilar, Cam Gigandet, Stanley Tucci, Christian Bale, Julian Ho, Eric Dane, and Peter Gallagher. It came out 2010. Wow, I was just and Christina Aguilar actually co-produced this movie, I'm pretty sure, I just couldn't believe the voice on that woman. Wow, I was just blown away, and of course it would take that type of voice to be at the same level as Cher, and you know, well, if you've ever heard Cher before, that woman can sing as well. I mean, she's got an amazing voice, and so if you ever want to hear some amazing music and burlesque style, that's a movie to watch. If you want to go to Las Vegas, or if you just came from Las Vegas, it's probably a good movie to watch. So it just gives you a good idea. Christina Aguilar is working. She's a waitress in this small town. I can't remember what state, but anyhow, she goes, "Oh, I'm going." I think she said this is New York. So she goes, "Oh, I'm going to go to New York. I'm out of here." So she leaves literally that same day, right? So she ends up in a dingy hotel in New York or whatever, and finally she's looking for some kind of a singing, dancing routine thing to do so she can make some money. And she finally ends up at Burlesque, and of course Cher owns the place, and they're behind on payments. They're going to lose the place if they don't come up with a big plan, big payment, and so. Christina goes, "Oh, well, I want to work here." Well, they go, "Well, go leave your name at the door, and we'll get a hold of you later." And so she grabs a plate and starts waitressing right there on the spot, and they're going, "Well, what are you doing?" "Well, I'm waitressing. I want to be up there on that stage." So now she's like really, like very, very demanding, I think is a good word, but more so inspired or passionate about the idea of dancing and singing on stage. So she finally gets her break, and she gets up on stage and starts dancing. And then this one girl, Christian Bale, who is supposedly the main ticket in the place, gets jealous. So she goes and turns off the music while they're doing their routine in front of all these people, right? And so Christina just starts belting it out, right? She starts singing away, and so the show goes on, right? Regardless of whether they have backup music or not. So the band, which is a live band right there, picks up on it, they start playing, and everybody's just like, wow, we're. So of course they raise the rates for the shows, and then finally at the end they end up going in and getting money somewhere, borrowing one lump sum and paying for the place and taking over and claiming their place back, right? So it's like that. Let me see. Oh, The Tourist. I think that was the last one for the two thumbs up. The Tourist with Angelina Jolie, Johnny Depp, Timmy Dalton, and Paul Bettany came out in 2010. I thought I had seen this movie prior to, but I hadn't, and so I don't think. So at least I don't remember. And so anyhow, Angelina Jolie is like, she's married to this wealthy guy, and people want to kill him because he owes money to, I believe he owes money to who, so and so, and so she goes and they're on this train, and she goes and hooks up with Johnny Depp, right? She makes it look like, oh yeah, I got the hots for you, and so they end up having dinner, and they finally get to their destination, and she goes, here, come on, you're gonna go stay with me, and he's like a teacher, a math teacher from back home, so wherever that's at, and so he goes and stays with her, and he wants to jump her bones, but he refrains himself, right? He draws the line, maintains boundaries, and decides, no, I'm not going to do this. So anyhow, all of a sudden these people are trying to kill him because they think he's the husband of Angelina Jolie and blah blah blah. So, oh my God! And turns out, at the very end, the guy they're trying to kill is a really wealthy person. And they want to get into his safe so they can get all his money, right? Well, they can't get in, and I don't know, CIA, FBI, all these people, law enforcement come in, and they arrest these guys that are trying to kill these Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp, and then finally at the very end, he comes out, and of course he opens the case. He's the rich guy everybody is looking for, right? So, interesting, very intense movie. Kind of funny, and just to watch, just to see some of the sceneries and background was kind of interesting. Now, 1.5 thumbs up movies, starting out with The Irishman, and this has to do with Jimmy Hoffa, these thugs. The Irishman is this guy that ends up being the gopher, right? Go do this, go do that kind of guy. Drive this, drive that, and he hooks up with Jimmy Hoffa, and then there's Russell, the guy that's who's actually let me see, Joe Pesci, and Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Ray Romano, Bobby Cannavale, Anna Paquin, Stephen Graham, Harvey Keitel, came out last year. Again, this is about Jimmy Hoffa and him coming into power or being in power, and then all of a sudden he ends up in prison. And it was interesting because he too came to me a couple days ago, yesterday or the day before, and asked to join the transmission meditation group. And I thought he had already come to me long ago, but anyhow, I looked at the list and he wasn't on the list, so I guess not. But anyhow, he and Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna came to me recently to join the transmission meditation group. So anyhow, the Irishman, and you know, if you look at the history of the bio of Jimmy Hoffa, it says, you know, he died, I believe, died in 1982, and the cause of death, and it says it in there. Hang on, oh yeah, that's much better. It says it in that he disappeared, so nobody really knows, assumably, that how he died. And in this movie, and it doesn't say it's based on true events or actual events or anything like that, so it's undetermined whether this is true or not. But apparently, the Irishman in the very end shoots him and kills him, and they take him and incinerate him, and he disappears. So anyhow, there's a lot of violence. To me, a good movie is productive, creative. There's something to do with service, some kind of service being done, and then there's spiritual, inspirational music, readings, or whatever, as well, or at least some of that, or a tidbit of that, or whatever. But anyhow, was it productive? Again, this was a biography, more or less, made into a movie, or a documentary made into a movie type of thing, and it just told how Jimmy Hoffa died. That was kind of interesting, but it wasn't really productive necessarily. Maybe somewhat creative, and the only service that they really offered was killing off all these thugs. And maybe some of it was service, because some of them maybe needed to move on because they were just obnoxious and just real assholes to people. So, but it wasn't that Academy Award winning movie to me at all. So, Terminator or Dark Fate with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Time out. Natalia Reyes, Mackenzie Davis, Linda Hamilton, Gabriel Luna, Diego Boneta. Now, this was interesting in that it was done in New Mexico, and there's not a lot of movies that are done in Mexico. So there was some Mexican people in this, but again, it's kind of redundant. They're repeating the same shit. Oh, the world is gonna die. It's gonna be destroyed by all these robots. Blah blah blah. What made it interesting was the special effects, the visual effects, and it was intense. There was a lot of fighting. Blah blah blah. And then, of course, the new cyborgs that they have in the movie are much more evolved, and they can do much more than Robert De Niro and all these other cyborgs could in the past in the other Terminator movies. That was interesting, but to me it was just kind of redundant. That's beside the point. Motherless Brooklyn. Now I don't know. This was with where is it at? Motherless Brooklyn. Where are you at? I don't think it's a number 2 thumb up, maybe. Oh, there it is. I don't know if Ed Norton has directed other movies before, but he actually directed and I think co-produced. And it was it's about this guy who has Tourette syndrome. Edward Norton is that character, and he did in presenting that type of a lifestyle, that type of behavior, that type of attitude, that type of character. But I think he overdid it. I just think it wasn't believable to me 100%. So and so Edward Norton and his buddies are in foster home, and so Bruce Willis adopts these kids more or less, not literally in the sense of speaking, but in the movie. But he takes them under his wing and makes them investigators. So anyhow, they put together an investigation company, and then somehow Bruce Willis ends up with these thugs that are heavyweight, and they kill him at the very beginning. And so the group takes over, and then Edward Norton goes and investigates why Bruce Willis was killed, and they come up. He comes upon this whole I don't know what the words I'm looking for, but anyhow, he comes to find out that these thugs are really nasty and really obnoxious. So anyhow, they go through this whole thing at the end, and they resolve. I believe they end up getting back at these people for Bruce Willis, if I remember right. So now, Marriage Story. Oh my God, that was so full of drama. I could almost hardly stand it. There was some interesting stuff in it. You know, if you're going through a divorce or you're getting ready to go through a divorce, maybe that's a good movie to watch. It came out last year. Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, Laura Dern, Alan Alda, Ray Liotta, Julie Haggerty. You know, Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver first get together, and they fall in love, and they move to New York because they want to do all these plays, and so they do all these plays, and Adam Driver is a director, producer, or whatever, and she's an actress. So all of a sudden she gets a part in Los Angeles, and she's been wanting to go back to Los Angeles, live there, and Adam Driver has never really let her, supposedly. So she goes back with her kid. They have a kid together, and so and she files for divorce, and all this stuff starts happening, and I think they do finally finalize the divorce, and they still end up friends, and all, you know, that's kind of how it ends. So type of thing. You know, if Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson weren't the lead parts for those, and there were some no names, that would have definitely got a 1 rating, but that's the other thing. They came together. Okay, here we go again. Like Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler, Ed Helms, Kobe Smulders. Now it's interesting because, you know, when MySpace came out years and years ago, back in 2006 or whatever, or earlier, that's when I first joined. Kobe Smulders was in my network, so we were friends in that network, and I just kind of seen her come along, and now she's getting more and more parts. And you know, if you're an actor or actress, and you stick with it, even if you become a I've discovered that even if you're a mediocre actor or actress, you'll still make $1 million within the next few years. If you just stick with it, I kid you not, you got a good attitude, and you appreciate life, and you appreciate things. I guarantee you, 100% or your money back, you'll probably make over $1 million within the next 10 years, easy, probably. So and if you become really popular, then you'll make several $1 million. But that's the other one. So and I've noticed that a lot of actors, even if they're mediocre, they've made $1 or $2 million. They've done 15, 20 movies, films, TV series, and they're a millionaire already. It just blows me away. So anyhow, this movie came out in 2014. Bill Hader, Christopher Meloni, Jason. Okay, so that means I'm gonna have to finish up pretty soon. Jason Mantzoukas. Anyhow, Paul Rudd's corporation is across the street from Amy Poehler's small-time candy operation. You know, she's got a candy shop, and she sells candy. And so anyhow, they want to take her out of business, and I think they want to buy her out. So or whatever, I don't know, but they want to build a huge building where she's at, and so he goes over there to court her to get her to sell or whatever, and so he ends up falling in love with her. They end up falling in love with each other, and going out and hanging out, and then pretty soon Paul Rudd says, "Whoa, screw it! There's plenty of room for everyone. We can all sell candy together, no matter what, right?" So anyhow, he ends up saving her business, and they fall in love. They're married happily ever after. Blah blah blah. So, but it's funny, of course. You know, Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler are in the movie, so it has to be a comedy. So anyhow, it's a pretty funny movie. The Bounty Hunter, with Jennifer Aniston, Jared Butler, and Jason Sudeikis, back in 2010. Jennifer Aniston and Jared Butler are item. They're married, right? And so anyhow, they end up getting divorced. She's a writer. He becomes a bounty hunter, right? So she ended up in court for some reason or another, and she doesn't go to court. She doesn't go to her proceedings, and So they put a they put a warrant for arrest out, right? So he, of course, goes and arrests her and gets her literally puts her in the trunk so she won't escape and all this stuff. Oh my God, that's a funny movie, but it was cheesy to an extent as well. So I give it a 1.5. So The Saint. Wait, didn't we already? Oh no, The Tourist. The Saint with Val Kilmer, Elizabeth Shue, Raid, Sarah Bells, whatever. I'm sorry about that. Anyhow, Val Kilmer, Elizabeth Shue, they grow up in this foster home. You know, it's like a Catholic foster home or something like that. And he escapes or something like that, and he gets away. And he's like a master thief. He can break into stuff and break into locks, and so he ends up being some kind of assassin or something. I don't know what. And she ends up figuring out the formula for cold water fusion, right? Or cold fusion, I think they call it. So anyhow, there's these thugs that want the formula, so he sent out. He's paid all this money to go get it, and come to find out it's her. And so he goes and gets the formula, and anyhow, they try to kill him and her as a part of the process, and so anyhow, I don't know if it takes place in Russia or not, but it has a Russian connotation to it, but I do think it takes place in Russia. So anyhow, they escape, and I think the thugs that hired Val Kilmer to go get the formula end up getting arrested because they get caught with all kinds of stuff. So anyhow, Zoom, that's like a Marvel movie. Tim Allen, Courtney Cox, Chevy Chase, Kate Mara, Spencer Breslin, Ryan Newman, Michael Cassidy, Kevin Zegers. Came out 2006. Tim Allen is like a wannabe, or not a one. He was a washed out superhero, right? He has all these powers, and so he retires, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden this company that helped make him a superhero comes and gets him. He goes, well, we want you to train all these people, blah blah, all these kids, right? These 4 kids or whatever, and because they supposedly his brother is killed, and then come to find out that his brother's coming back to destroy all this company or whatever, blah blah blah, and so they hire him to train these kids so they can stop him. So, and then he doesn't know that it's his brother. So finally he does find out, and they become a family. At the end, they all become a family, and the brother is going, oh, so he finally decides he wants to get back together with his brother as well. Big Trouble, Tim Allen, Rene Rousseau, Stanley Tucci, Tom Sizemore, Johnny Knoxville, Patrick Warburton, Janae Garofalo, Jason Lee. Anyhow, it came out 2002. And it's really funny. Oh my God, it's funny. There's these thugs. There's the FBI. There's some kid that just happens to be there. These thugs have this suitcase with a bomb in it, or a nuke in it, or something. I don't know what. But Tim Allen or Stanley Tucci buys it or something, and so he's going to do something with it. And so anyhow, all these people are caught up in all this mirage of cat and mouse type of thing. And oh man, it's just funny. The thugs shoot at Stanley Tucci. He just bends over just in time, and in the meantime, these other kids are shooting at him or her or the daughter with a water gun, and they think that they're the ones that put the hole in the wall, blah blah blah. Oh my God, it's just a mirage. It's funny, kind of cheesy, but worth a laugh. And then finally, I gotta hurry up because I think I'm almost. Big Trouble. No, I did this one. Dr. T and the Women. Dr. T being Richard Gere, who's a gynecologist, and then there's Helen Hunt, Farrah Fawcett, Laura Dern, Shelley Long, Tara Reid, Kate Hudson, Liv Tyler, Janine Turner, came out in 2000. Older movie, again more drama, but with much more humor in it. And who was it? Dr. T's daughter, Kate Hudson, is going to get married. Come to find out, Kate Hudson gets involved with Liv Tyler while they're in college as lesbians. So they go through all this this drama. And now it was interesting to see Farrah Fawcett, who ends up being some kind of a mental case and ends up in a sane asylum type of thing. And it was but it was interesting because, you know, back in the day, she was like the hot item on TV, and she was Charlie's Angels, and you've just seen her there. But that's the only place I think I ever actually seen her acting. So anyhow, it was interesting to see her in this movie too. But anyhow, Kate Hudson at the very end ends up saying, "Screw it, I don't want to marry you, dude." So she goes and she makes Liv Tyler the maid of honor, and so she ends up calling off the wedding, and her and Liv Tyler take off, and they go do their thing. Anyhow, an assortment of movies to watch. You know, you find your taste buds and you can figure it out from there. But again, tomorrow we're doing a full moon meditation. And again, the coronavirus. If you think there's any kind of doubt, there it is. That's kind of what it looks like. There's all kinds of types of masks out there, but just grab one and throw it on. It doesn't matter where you live. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter where you live, especially the major countries, the major popular countries. I throw a mask on if you feel like there's any doubt at all, any doubt. So, and I mean, better safe than sorry, right? Right, Alec Baldwin, but that's besides the point. Anyhow, thanks. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Again, treat yourself or find a partner or a lover to hang out with and just go have some fun. And just enjoy being loved. You don't even have to be in love. Just enjoy being loved and you'll be fine. Have a God-Goddess weekend. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.